Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Thursday, April 3rd. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Once a landing strip, this runway at the former Downsview airport could soon become the spine of a thriving urban hub designed not for takeoffs, but for people, parks, and public spaces.
We really have the opportunity to create a new community, create a place that is connected.
Developer Northcrest is behind the plan to give the old site new life. And students from the University of Guelph's School of Environmental Design and Rural Development are presenting their design ideas.
Students have worked on many large-scale community design projects in the past, but the one specifically with runway and airport design, not really. No, this is something new with them.
A plan that looks to redefine a 2-kilometer runway and 370 acres of space into vibrant, accessible communities.
I'm really proud of what we accomplished. I think that we've developed a lot of unique spaces and kind of doing the functionality towards the residents who are going to live there.
The vision is to make the runway area the spine of a series of connected neighborhoods, which could be home to a lot of people.
About 30 years from now, maybe more, maybe less, the entire thing is built out. We have about 80,000 people living and another 40,000 people working there, so a daytime population of about 120,000 people.
Students are diving into ideas that include mixed-use spaces along with transit and ecological corridors to stitch the site into the surrounding city.
A space that's really about placemaking and providing community and homes for people, as well as connection to things like biodiversity, locals in the community.
The students' designs are separate from Northcrest's official runway design competition, but it's an assignment that brings fresh perspectives to city building.
I'm hoping a profession like urban design and landscape architecture at such a large scale incorporates things like climate action, recreation, economic growth. All of these come into play,
showing that the sky's the limit for urban transformation.
Moving forward, what I'm hoping to be able to take from this is just taking in all those different actors and creating the positive spaces in the future.
Hannah Schmidt, CTV News, Guelph.
Airports are inherently busy, a place designed to get people from point A to point B. It can be overwhelming, especially for people who are neurodiverse. Now, amongst the hustle and bustle, a sanctuary of sorts. One with soft sounds, calming visuals, and objects and panels to touch.
And it's a nice little hideaway that they can kind of tuck into before their flight and get themselves in that calm space.
MP Mike Lake says he's flown with his son Jaden upwards of 200 times. Jaden has autism, and even with years of experience, his dad says it can be a lot.
For the most part, he thrives on kind of the excitement and everything around, and he's loving, even right now as we're talking, looking out at the airplanes and everything else. But then at times that gets a little bit overwhelming.
A sentiment airport officials say they've heard loud and clear. Why they've opened this new sensory room.
Families just simply aren't traveling because of that anxiety, that stress that is involved with being at an airport, getting on a flight. And so this really was born from those conversations.
Autism Edmonton was consulted on the room's design.
Some people are sensory seeking when they're having a difficult time. They want things that they can touch, and so things like weighted blankets, tactile toys that we can manipulate, or tactile items, things like the marble wall that you can touch. Other people may be sensory avoiding, and so things like headphones or sunglasses or low lights.
One feature the airport thought of was installing real aircraft seats in the room, so you can sit down, buckle in, and experience what it's like to fly before you get on the plane.
So it helps you regulate your emotions.
The room is past security to the right near Gate 49, and everyone is invited to use it. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia.
For more than a decade, he's been one of the most famous YouTubers to call the Maritimes home.
I got a lot of fans in different countries in the world. Eat 50 hot dogs at once!
This video, posted 12 years ago, has well over 2 million views. But when he's not entertaining his fans all over the globe, Frankie McDonald can often be found here, working in maintenance at Sydney's Mayflower Mall.
Frankie definitely gets a lot of attention here. People are always shouting out, "Hey Frank, how you doing?"
The mall's general manager says while it's fun having a local celebrity on staff, McDonald is a role model for many who live on the spectrum.
A lot of people with autism will see Frankie and just see that that he is very capable to work in an environment here, like in a busy shopping center, and it just could be uplifting for anybody.
Frankie has worked here at the Mayflower Mall for 20 years now, and while autism awareness may have changed quite a bit during that period of time, it seems Frankie himself hasn't changed much at all.
I'm 40 years old. That means I did a lot of videos in the last decade as well.
Some may find it hard to believe that Frankie is now the big 4-0. In fact, he turns 41 before the end of the month. Over the years, he's co-written a book, and he still gets plenty of recognition for his weather reports.
What you can overcome, what you can achieve, Frankie lives it daily.
Back online, some of the many fans who reach out to Frankie also live with autism, correspondence that's beneficial to everyone.
They have their own journey. They go out their own way. Okay, guys, let's do some dancing.
Spreading joy and awareness by being himself, and a high-profile example of what people with autism can accomplish. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Please welcome Mr. Jake Vaadeland.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now, everywhere I go, I carry a burden of shame.
It's been a busy year for 21-year-old Jake Vaadeland. The Saskatchewan-born musician recently took home his first Juno Award, and now he's in the running to be SiriusXM's next big name in country.
The last couple of days have been wonderful, coming home to my small town here. Cut Knife drove into town and everybody was waving and congratulating me.
SiriusXM and the Canadian Country Music Association will be awarding one artist the title of Canada's Top of the Country 2025, along with $25,000.
If we win it definitely will help us get to different places where we have a lot of audience, especially in the United States, where we've never really been able to go. And I know that if we happen to win, there's some opportunities lined out that bring us that way.
She tells me that the boys are being friendly, that there's no bad intention on their mind.
Vaadeland is one of 8 contenders from 6 provinces. Originally from a farm near Big River and now living in Cut Knife, the musician shared that it's been encouraging to learn how supportive those in Saskatchewan are of his career.
I never would have thought that anybody really care about what I'm doing, but to see how much people actually support and go out of their way to tell you that they're happy for you and that you make them proud, just by doing what you want to do. And that's really something.
Voting for Canada's Top of the Country is open to the public online until April 8th.
Another original number of mine for you. We hope you're going to enjoy it tonight, called More and More.
But according to Vaadeland, he'll be happy to continue making music regardless of the results.
If you leave me tonight, honey, I'll be all right. I got more and more and more.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice day. Yeah, it's a great day out there.
This is what 2 countries coming together looks like.
When we got the call, we immediately said, yeah, we'll play you.
At the Jim Durrell Arena Wednesday afternoon, it was the countries of Canada and Austria coming together over a hockey game and a couple beers.
It started with 2 guys in the locker room and a beer in their hand, and they thought about, let's do a real hockey trip.
Self-described as #1 in beer league, the Sport Club Fair Play hockey team from Innsbruck, Austria, has traveled to Canada to take on fellow beer leaguers, the Ottawa Selects.
Fun to hang out with the guys and enjoy the trip. Play hockey in another continent. None of us has done that before, so have a good time together and meet locals here to play hockey.
The team says it was between Florida and Canada for their hockey trip. Ultimately, they chose Ottawa, Toronto, and Montreal, saying they couldn't pass up a visit to the motherland of hockey.
Well, the greatest decision to make, because just like we are, staying away from the United States, not because we don't like the Americans, we love the Americans dearly. We work together with them. I worked a lot. I've seen all 50 states, but under this White House, I would say I would not go there even if they pay me.
The team from Austria, well aware of the tensions between Canada and the United States.
Yes, we do. And we've seen also the images and videos of the great the Four Nations face-off. No, it was not the finals. It was the first round-robin game. Intense, yes.
After the game, the teams say they will share a couple cold ones, the ultimate goal being the bonds forged between Canada and Austria.
We've got it set up that we're going to have a barbecue in the backyard, back of the arena, and have some beers there and some hot dogs and just talk as much as we can about hockey and just life in general.
It tastes good, especially after you played hockey. So this seems like universal in Canada and Austria.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
For decades, this 63 Cadillac Eldorado has graced Angels Drive-In in Bowness. Heavily damaged by vandals in February, it was hoisted off the roof Tuesday to be repaired. On hand, Jesse and JD, the morning show crew from CJ92, who campaigned to restore the landmark.
Told the story of what happened, and we asked our listeners for help, and it was amazing to see how many people wanted to offer their services to us.
Stonewall Foundations donated the crane to get the car off its perch.
I grew up in Calgary in the area, so it was an easy decision to come and help if I could.
Wednesday morning, an army of body shop specialists at Strathmore's Legacy Speed and Body descended on the car, all of them volunteering their time and expertise.
Without even asking them, they just one by one raised their hand and said, hey, I'll donate my time. I'll donate my time. So it kind of was a group effort, and they just all offered to donate their time.
They're not just wiping off the graffiti, they're grinding the car down, filling in the dents, and repainting it to Matador Red, the glossy color it would have been when it rolled off the factory line 62 years ago.
We're not going to put a brand new paint job on with cracks in the body filler, so we're taking those areas down to metal. We're going to refiberglass them, rebody fill them, make it smooth again.
Lordco donated the paint and the parts, and the way the Calgary area car community came together has overwhelmed longtime staff back at Angels Drive-In.
The community in itself has been vandalized a lot, so to have people come out and help us is absolutely totally grateful.
It's as Bowness as it gets, it's as Calgary as it gets, and this is as CJ as it gets. It doesn't seem to matter what the economic times are like or what the need is like. Calgarians are just in such a hurry to help.
Look at that. Many hands in this case make fast work. The crew at Legacy say they should have the Cadillac back in showroom shape and ready for reinstallation sometime by the middle of next week. Kevin Green, CTV News, Strathmore.
A new free exhibit at the Toronto Reference Library is bringing pieces of the past into the present with vintage postcards.
They are a really great snapshot of Toronto's history, local history, as well as, unique materials and language.
The visual souvenirs are from a special collection at the library with over 26,000 postcards. The ones featured have a nod to Toronto's history, featuring some iconic Toronto landmarks and old city street scenes.
We decided that we wanted to kind of focus on Toronto, so you'll notice the bulk of the cards are Toronto-based, Toronto scenes, Toronto buildings, some that don't exist anymore, and then we chose 2 unique mediums to focus in on.
Outside of traditional paper or cardstock, cards made from leather and others from silk are also included.
They were really, really quite rare, and a lot of them are hand-woven. You'll notice a lot of the ones that we have are dated kind of to the First World War era.
The exhibit includes 100 perfectly preserved cards capturing moments in time and sweet sentiments.
The postcard's kind of romantic in that sense. It gives you a little glimpse of where you are, who you are, what you're doing.
The Wish You Were Here exhibit here at the Toronto Reference Library will remain free and is here until May 25th. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
And Habs General Manager Kent Hughes was at Beaconsfield High School today. He's a former graduate. He was there for a fundraiser and spoke with students.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for having us. Hi, welcome home. Thank you.
The occasion was Dodge for a Cause. It's an annual fundraiser for the Old Brewery Mission. Hughes attended it with his wife, Dina Gazal. The two met at Beaconsfield High School. Students and staff say they're proud to call him one of their own.
It's honestly pretty cool, he's an alumni, so it's obviously kind of cool that we could see where people come from this school. So obviously that's kind of passionate for me to see where I can come.
I think it's pretty exceptional, honestly. Coming from public school, he played hockey when he was younger and he made it his dream and he was able to do it as his job, you know? I think that's every kid's dream.
Seeing him come home with his wife, holding hands and being a part of the gym, it made me realize, although high school only lasts for 5 years, it's a part of you forever.
We've announced the Grand Slam of curling is coming, the WFG Masters, and that will bring the top world curlers to this area.
The top 16 men's and women's teams will be at Western Fair District this September, including London resident Sarah Wilkes, a two-time reigning world champion, as lead on Team Homan.
The arena's the perfect size for it. I'm hoping that will pack it with fans, and the environment will be awesome. The level of play is going to be fantastic. Lots of really good curlers, lots of great games every single draw.
Landing another big event is a boost for Tourism London. With a history of bringing the Continental Cup and the Brier, they know curling fans travel.
Curling has a great group of followers. They come for the whole event, stick around while they're here, check out the city. So we're excited to have some more action kind of downtown and around the facility.
The week will also feature a Tier 2 event, which will bring another 32 teams along with their friends and families. It's still being determined whether that will be held at the St. Thomas Curling Club or in London.
Tourism London and ourselves have been talking to put together a 5-year plan, with the end of that hoping to be the Olympic trials. We've always tried to bring a world championship here, but the London Knights just happen to be too good, and they're always in the playoffs. So this is our only opportunity to let London and area see these top teams.
As for Wilkes, she's excited to have Team Homan in her hometown.
Show them around, bring them to some of my favorite restaurants, show them my house. They've never been here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And of course, having my family support here will be awesome.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
The melting of snow is a welcoming sign of spring, but with it, the discovery of what winter has been hiding. Colin Morey, a resident of the North Central neighborhood, is eager to get the spring cleaning underway in his area and is looking for others to join the cause.
I feel like cleaning it up makes North Central feel like more better of a home, and more people will want to be able to walk around and play at the parks and stuff.
The North Central Community Association is housed within the Mamaweyatitin Center. They say although garbage and debris may be visible, much of it is not yet ready to be picked up because it's still frozen to the ground.
Even the middle of April, the snow may be gone, but the garbage is still frozen, and we can't dig it up or pick it up because we need to make sure we're checking for discarded needles or paraphernalia.
For a number of years, the North Central Community Association has annually held major cleanup days for the neighborhood. The next one is scheduled for May. It's a community building event which leaves people feeling positive about where they live.
They feel so much better because their alley is cleaned up and looks better. But the second is they're making connections with their neighbors. They're talking to people that they may not have talked to before. And so creating a more of a sense of community.
For Mowry, he hopes everyone does their part in keeping the city litter-free.
Don't just throw your garbage on the alleyway. Find a garbage can. It doesn't even have to be your own garbage can while you're walking. If there's a garbage can in the alleyway, throw your garbage in there, not on the side of the road.
CTV News has asked the City of Regina for a comment on the situation, but did not hear back before deadline. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
They're going to be well rested. They're going to have a great meal in their belly.
Some anecdotal shots fired from one police officer to a firefighter colleague. While both are tasked with keeping our streets safe, a long-established and far-reaching feud has always simmered beneath the surface between the two forces.
I think at the heart of everything here, we're just jealous. The police are jealous of fire. That comes down to. I said it. I said it out loud.
Despite that jealousy, this constable has formed a decades-long friendship with Barrie Fire Acting Captain Ryan Frechette. Is he qualified?
No. Takes a high level of intellect to operate one of these.
Now the two are coming together, sort of, as they spearhead the 911 Crosstown Classic, a charity hockey game that will see Barrie police and firefighters going head-to-head on the ice.
As much as I like the growth of Barrie, I kind of miss the small-town feel, and nothing gets more dramatic than the crosstown rivalry of the police and the fire department.
While in its inaugural year, the game has its roots in the city's past, partly inspired by the popular grudge match battles that saw the two forces facing off in the ring. These battles can in fact bring the two forces together, an energy that these veterans want to create for their younger colleagues.
We usually see each other at a crisis scene, and it's not really the time to socialize, so we believe that bringing the culture together, standing side by side, and unifying us in the name of charity for the community it's what it's all about.
That charity this time will be Hospice Simcoe, with donations also being collected during the game for the Barrie Food Bank. Stars of the popular program Letterkenny, Nathan Dales, and Andrew Herr will be there as well, lending their star power, with title sponsors Lions Elite Luxury Matchmaking and Pratt Homes making it all possible. But when police and fire are forced together, there's only so much goodwill to go around.
The guys and I are a bit worried that because Brad sent me a recipe, he found some protein-infused donuts, so we're really worried they're going to be overnourished.
I've always wanted to do that.
The inaugural 911 Crosstown Classic is set for next Tuesday at 7 p.m. at the Vaadeland Arena.
Having a day such as World Autism Day means the world to those of us who live it 365 days a year.
The newest flag at the Sioux City Hall celebrates the uniqueness of the many locals on the autism spectrum.
Today is really important that we recognize the struggles of autistic individuals and their families. And even though we, embrace it, we still have a long way to go. And I think it's really important for folks to recognize the abilities that people with differing abilities have and to respect those.
Roughly 1 in 50 Canadian youth have been diagnosed with autism. Officials with Autism Ontario say more needs to be done to assist those with the condition, most notably help from the provincial government.
Increased early intervention, more timeliness in services, as well as advocacy to help with wait lists.
Autism advocates also say classrooms don't have the staffing, supports, and safeguards they need to accommodate youth on the spectrum.
I believe it's incumbent on the province to support all students, and shortages and lack of resources in our classrooms presents difficulties for all students, but particularly for students with neurodivergence issues.
Another area of improvement, according to those on hand for today's flag raising, is community involvement. They say that each of the attendees has a close personal connection to someone with autism, and they hope to see more advocates without such a strong tie on next year's World Autism Day. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Although the Little Pink Piano couldn't be further from Carnegie Hall, one wonders if the anticipation of its upcoming concert at the Beacon Hill Children's Farm feels just as momentous.
They have discovered music, so yeah, they love to play.
And by they, farm manager Claudia Laba is referring to this trio of musical pigs.
There's Poppy, there's Petunia, and there's Punk, because not everyone can be a flower.
Well, not every piano can be a Steinway. The Little Pink one has never stopped striving for excellence.
A little girl donated her piano to us.
The Little Pink Piano's first player, who no doubt set high standards for performance before graciously offering it to an aspiring band of chickens.
Animal enrichment, so they actually make it more interesting, playful for the chickens.
Although the chickens attempted to impress the public by appearing for every performance dressed in dynamic feathered stage costumes, not one ever seemed to come close to rivaling the musical talents of a Liberace or Elton John.
They're not as musical, in my opinion.
So, Claudia decided to pair the Little Pink Piano with players who had more potential.
Pigs are some smartest animal.
On lists of the world's smartest animals, pigs regularly rank in the top 5, boasting the intelligence of a 3-year-old human and being more trainable than a dog. And the first time she played the Little Pink Piano, Punk the pig performed way more notes than a flock of chickens.
And they seem to like the idea that it makes sound.
And as Poppy, Petunia, and Punk have grown into teenagers, their musical tastes have evolved with them.
Well, it's freestyle, let's say.
While the pigs pound out music that's more rock than Rachmaninoff, The little piano seems to be tickled pink.
I think the piano is just happy to be played, being an active part of the farm.
And ensuring that no matter who is performing the soundtrack to Smiles, they're hitting all the right notes. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.